Okay.
Please welcome the performance enhancing drugs.
So my name is Amelia. This is Zach, Kinsey, Cassie, and Jared. And today our topic is performance enhancing drugs, also known as PEDs, are substances used to improve one's mental or physical performance. They've been used since the time of ancient Greeks through natural substances and concoctions, but haven't been an issue or concern of health or cheating until 1928, when action was first taken with the International Association of Athletics Federation. They banned any form of doping in its sports organization. Later, and most recently, in 1988, President Reagan banned the sale and distribution of non-medical steroids. This means that it expanded past sports and went into the general public. Biologically, steroids help the muscle cells produce more protein, which can increase muscle size, and they can also allow the body to increase production of the ATP, or fuel to function. But this comes with a lot of side effects, like seizures and death. So PEDs are not only concerned because they do promote cheating, but also because they can kill the user. Our main goal is to stop the spread and use of these drugs in sports and in the general public. So we have proposed to invest into a company that will start research to improve drug testing. Then we will sell our improved drug tests to other organizations and make a profit off them. The other portion of the grant will go towards notifying the public, and we will keep the public updated and informed with the profits that we make.
The government has made a 10-point plan to counteract the drug use and the selling of drugs, and to help families that have had drug problems within the family, such as the parents are taking drugs and there's a small child that is not able to support himself. It will help out with that. Scientists have made a program mainly to give drug users mental and physical therapy, and to give them the medicine that they need to counteract the drugs and the harmful effects. And they also will give them yearly checkups to ensure their health. The communities have been trying to make drug help as accessible as it is to call 911. So you can have a nice, easily callable number to get the drug help from anywhere. And most of the big concerns is that a lot of drugs have been used to help students in their studies, and it's been used mainly in sports for cheating, as was said, and overall the selling and use of drugs.
Performance-enhancing drugs can be very detrimental to an individual's health, even being fatal. Tom Simpson, shown there, died while doping in the Tour de France in 1967. In 1968, all performance-enhancing drugs were banned in the Olympics. Later, in 1988, President Ronald Reagan passed the Anti-Drug Abuse Act, banning drugs not only in the athletic field, but also in the general public. Simpson's death sparked a sudden interest in performance-enhancing drugs, causing much more attention to go towards the topic. So stimulants are a subcategory of performance-enhancing drugs, and they're very commonly used in the college and teen ages. And 31% of 465 students at Midwest University admitted to the non-prescription drug abuse of performance-enhancing drugs. Adderall being one of those stimulants. Adderall has a very detrimental effect to the sympathetic nervous system, or SNS. The SNS controls actions of the heart, lung, and blood vessels. So when you are damaging the sympathetic nervous system, it can lead to effects such as seizures, heart attacks, anxiety, or nausea. Our goal is to inform the public of these detrimental and dangerous effects, as well as improve upon drug testing for the general public.
Our goal would be to create a more efficient way to screen for these drugs, along with informing the public. But the more the detection rate goes up, and less people would use the drugs, because there'd be more of them like getting caught, and more people realize that they cannot drug test without getting kicked out of the league or thrown in jail. Our goal would be easily obtainable in like donating the money to Millennium Health is the company, and the biggest cost they would need is time that the researchers would have to take to obtain this goal.
So the main point of our action plan is to donate or contract Millennium Health, which is located in San Diego, California, and they create specific drugs for either individuals or for corporate pharmaceutical industries. And Senior Vice President and Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Charles Michael, he is our main line of communication at Millennium Health. What he does is he looks and oversees all of the projects that they do involving screening of regular drugs such as cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and also performance-enhancing drugs, whether it's Adderall or doping, which is what their main focus is. And we will contract them for $200,000 to fund them for the specific purpose of researching a more effective and more detailed screening process of the drugs. What that means is if an athlete, for example, were to take drugs and try to flush it out of their system, this screening process would be more detailed and try to find and would find the drugs that they're trying to flush out of their system. And for the logistics and the follow-through, we will, as we give them a contract and we will sign it and go over it with them, we will give them 1 year from the day that we give them the money to come up with the technology and the screening system itself. And if they do not follow that contract and they use it for if they use the money for other reasons, we will take legal action to sue them to get our money back. And after it does follow through, as we're planning, we will publish the findings after we patent the product, the technology itself, and then we will sell that technology, and then with the remaining $50,000 we have set aside, we will use that to notify the public of what our technology is capable of doing, and how exactly it would change the game in academic level and in a professional sporting level. And then with the profit that we make from selling it will also go towards notifying the public and keeping them updated with how it's changing the U.S. and the world and in the sporting industry.
So overall, the use of performance-enhancing drugs can be very detrimental to the body and dangerous. But there's not that much action that's been taken. Non-medical steroids have been banned and made illegal, and there has also been action taken in sports industries, but not enough of the public seems to understand this. Yet drug sale rate has increased, and many sports still use them. We've seen what they can do to the body, and it's dangerous. Because the public doesn't understand enough of this, we need to take the action to inform them. We would use some of the money of the grant, and we would do so. Also, drug testing is expensive, it's not effective, and can only, in most cases, check the system 6 months back. And with our investment into Millennium Health, they could make it cheaper, allowing sports budgets to go towards more sensible items such as equipment. Then we can also make it more effective by being able to test if the drug has been in the system farther back and see if they have tried to flush it out. We can make profits off of this by selling to organizations, and then we could keep the public updated to also let them know how it's changing and evolving. So with our efforts, we can stop many from hurting themselves, from cheating, and from affecting future society.
Do you think, so Zach, when you were talking about the programs in place in communities and government and things like that, what kind of struck me is this one question, which is just, do you think people look at performance-enhancing drugs in the same light that they do maybe like prescription drug abuse, like I guess narcotics, things like that? Do you think do you think part of the problem is that people just don't look at PEDs, and this isn't just for Zach, but like in the same light as they do other drugs, or do they look at it as kind of less, or like maybe not as important? That's something athletes worry about, not other people. Do you think that's part of the problem?
Well, I think that's also part of the problem, but because people relate it so much to just sports, people always think that performance enhancing drugs in sports, but like college students use Adderall all the time as a stimulant, and we can see what that can do, and that is the misuse of a prescription drug. So I think it goes hand in hand with the misuse of prescription drugs.
And so my other question is, how do you, I guess my question is, do you think that education is enough of like knowing more about the negative side effects is enough of a disincentive for people to stop using them? Or do you think that the disincentive has to come from like the punishment from using them? Like, I don't know. Like, do you think education's enough to make people stop using them? Or does it have to be the type of thing, like if we found that you were using Adderall and then studying in the library, like we're kicking you out of school, like we need to really discourage that behavior. Do you think it's enough to get the problem before, or do you think it has to come more after? What do you think?
Education can definitely affect the use of it and each individual or a group wise, but they're not gonna listen. And even if they do and they don't take it, then they won't. But if they hear it and they continue to take it, it can kill them. It can give them major side effects. And if we were to continue educating them, it would just be saying, well, they hear it, they disregard it. So in order for the punishments to take effect, they need the screening to be more effective, and they needed to be more detailed to catch what they're using and when they use it.
So it needs to be like a two-part type thing, right?
Okay, something over here, Lynn?
Okay, so you know how you said you're going to pay the scientists and you'll give them a year to find to the screen, right? So what? Not just that they use the money wrong, but what if they do not find the screening that you're looking for?
If they do attempt to if they attempt to create the better screening and the more detailed screening, then they did use the money for that reason that we gave it to them. So we wouldn't take legal action because they did what we asked them to. And whatever results they find, we will embrace, and we can either raise more money and have them do it again, better technology, more researchers. But if they were to find it, then that's awful.
And also we have that $58,000 left, so when she said embrace the information that they did find, then we can also inform the public of what we do and what we have.
That's great.
So you were saying that like, you want to test for like diluting agents as well. Like, I was wondering, is that more like a widespread thing? So I saw on ESPN a few days ago that someone got caught for like marijuana and a diluting agent to try and hide it. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. Like, I didn't know they had stuff like that. But is that more like a widespread issue? Because I've never heard of it before like now.
Well, marijuana isn't really a performance-enhancing drug in the sports industry, but that would be, since it's not a performance-enhancing drug, that isn't what we're trying to find.
No, I'm asking more about like the diluting stuff.
Well, there's this one performance enhancing drug, and I forget the name of it right now, but they like to call it the clear because it, like you said, helps dilute the urine so that they can't see. But with our improved testing that we're trying to fund, it can go in more detail, and they can like pinpoint the cells and the receptors and see what's there.
Okay, Ms. Beck?
So one of the two groups that you guys were going to be testing were both in academics and in sports. So with sports teams, I understand when you sign up for sports teams, one of the things that you sign up is if they ask you to do a drug test, you have to do a drug test. You know, how are you going to manage the legalities of having students, let's say college, how do you get them to have to take a drug test?
Well, you just do the same way as in sports. You would say when it comes to college, then you have to take a drug test, and if you're refused, then.
So so this is an additional, I mean, this is something that would also have to be added, that they would have to, in paying to go to college, part of it is that you agree to abide by the college rules, et cetera, but we get to drug test you as well.
Yeah, that could be the next step.
And also, majority of PhD programs that you apply to, they require drug tests. I don't know if I'm not sure how frequent, but for my sister, who goes to Brown, she's in a neuroscience program. She was drug tested multiple times, and so is all of her colleagues in the program to make sure that they're not taking Adderall or taking any other stimulants to help them study or get through the day. And with so undergrad, college students, it would be harder to get school-wide testing for each individual or random screenings, but that would take a lot more funding, especially having the college have to create regulations, especially with the USADA.
Wait,
So you guys kept saying that some of the side effects are death.
Yeah.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger has taken a ton of steroids, and he's really old. So, like, he hasn't died yet, and he's definitely done a lot of steroids.
Well, it's gonna affect
So,
the time.
do you guys have like statistics for how many people who have taken them have died, or like?
I believe it was 17% of that 31 did experience very detrimental side effects. I'm not sure if fatality was any of the side effects for them.
But I know that like side effects lead to that. So like heart failure is gonna lead to die.
Or excessive amount of seizures will lead you to die, or excessive brain damage.
It just affects everyone differently.
All right, go ahead and score. You can score some class performance. We're going to start getting set up for lunch here in a second. I'm gonna have to.